Hey everyone, this is Dave with Unfiltered. First of all, I want to thank our sponsors, Relive Medical and Carol Semple Productions, and you can check out their information below.
In the person and their needs, but mainstream medical is not like that. You are a number, you are a Cigna healthcare patient, blah.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
That's exactly it. And they can be an hour and a half late to your appointment, but you're 15 minutes late to their appointment. They're on to the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny. We had one of the guys here. They had to take his girlfriend's daughter to the hospital, to the emergency room. She wasn't feeling good. She looked like terrible. They took her to the emergency room, and now there's a law, right, that when you go into the hospital, they have to itemize out the costs of everything, so that you know, right? So he's looking at these costs, and he's like,
$400 for ibuprofen?
It was like
That's exactly it.
20 minutes. You have you pay. I want to say it's like $5,000, or no, it was like $1,000 for $1,000 for the first 20-minute visit with the doctor, right? After that, every 20 minutes, $3,500.
But that's because insurance is such a joke. Like, okay, so on top of all of this, I've had stem cell injections twice now through Regenix because of my I know, Carol saved my life so many times you don't even know. But mainstream medical wanted to fuse my spine, right? So I did stem cell injections instead in my spine, and now I just recently did it for my shoulder, but not covered by insurance, right? Guess what? Chelation was not covered by insurance. It's not FDA approved, and I'm like, okay, but there's no other way to get this out. The only thing is EDTA.
No functional type of medicine is covered by insurance. So we have just moved into where we're doing a lot of spending a lot of time with gut health, leaky gut, food sensitivities, food allergies, trying to figure out
autoimmune fix goes into that book.
So, but insurance won't cover any of it.
No.
And so people have to pay out.
Your gut is the #1 organ in your body.
Number one, it causes so many problems, which is why you did what you did with the elimination diet and everything, thinking that could be the problem. And in a lot of cases, that is.
Oh yes.
Right? Not for you.
So I felt a million times better after removing gluten and dairy. Come to find out I have colitis, which is the reason why. But I mean, it was the elimination diet that made me do that. And then Autoimmune Fix was the book that really goes into the microbiome. And it's such a cool, fascinating thing. But it's the largest organ in your body. So
so we're getting very big on that, but not covered by insurance.
But here's the thing, though: is imagine how much money, and I'd be dead, and I wouldn't be able to tell this story if I was dead. So, but I spent more money in the last trying to figure out what was wrong with me with mainstream medical than I've spent with you over our entire relationship. So in that short period of time, which I went to, I don't know, 2 doctor's visits probably every single week. And I have great health insurance, by the way, because of my career. But, I don't even want to tell you how much money, because I had to have surgery. I had to have an endoscope, a colonoscopy, massive blood panels, because they all want to do their blood panels, even though I brought your blood panels. So I would say I probably spent 10x with them in that 3-month period. I didn't meet my max deductible, by the way, but thank you, tax laws. Anyways, but if we tally up everything I've ever spent with you, nowhere close. Nowhere close. And even chelation probably is underneath that number. So I would rather pay somebody out of pocket than go through the medical system at this point. And I have health insurance.
Well, it's so because they kind of started the path of least resistance, right? So you go in with stomach pains, they're going to stick you on some type of gas medicine or something like that. And okay, go away. If it doesn't work, then come back. And so you're constantly having to go back and go back and go back to try to find out what actually is wrong with me.
I know.
And how many doctors did you go to, and maybe it didn't happen with you, but how many doctors did you go to where they said, we're going to put you on an antidepressant?
Oh my gosh, I've been told so many times it's in my head. I'm like, wow.
Yes.
So because I have a headache, you're saying it's in my head?
Yes.
Cool, dude. I totally believe that it's related to death in the family. That's why. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, and I hear that so much that people go in, they're fatigued, they don't feel right. Oh, well, you need an antidepressant.
Well, it seems like to me when you're kind of going through what you went through as far as the medical doctors, you lose control. That the control becomes on them, and now you took your control back by working with Dave and Relive
and doing her research
and doing your research.
Yeah.
You took control, and that has power behind it.
Oh, for sure. And you're exactly right. I mean, like, if you don't take control of your life, no one else is going to help you, right? Like, nobody cares as much as you care about yourself and feeling good, right?
Well, and
we learned so much
trust your medical doctors. You know, and
I don't anymore.
A lot of times you're going to your doctor, and what's the first thing they're going to do? Like you, I mean, they're going to prescribe you some kind of a pharmaceutical to so-called mask, but it's not going to fix the problem. And a lot of people stay on those pharmaceuticals forever.
Right.
It's true. And then, by the way, withdrawals from pharmaceuticals is way, way worse than just, I mean, I get it, like diets, nobody really likes them, blah, 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 whatever, but it's either like I eat a cheeseburger or I'm sick for 3 weeks. Like, that, I mean, it's not worth it to me anymore. And the whole 30 book is a really great book to start for people that don't know where to start. That book actually talked about, is it worth it? Right? Like, if you do an elimination diet and you do something for 30 days, yeah, sure, that's kind of a pain in the ass. But after 30 days, you'll notice a giant difference.
You learn a lot about
You learn a ton. And I did an elimination diet for, oh my gosh, it was almost a full year to figure out what was really going on. And so for me, like, I'm trying to get back on stage, right? And no coach in their right mind will hear this story and be like, yeah, I'll take you. You're going to be a great, great, great billboard for me. They're not going to, right? I can't even go to a dietitian and get a diet done for me because they're not specialized in autoimmunes, right? So I had to go to a coach, Alex Caronero, well known, and I trust him, right? Because he cares about health first as opposed to just getting on stage, right? And being a good billboard and winning a trophy on his behalf kind of thing, right? So the first time I asked him to do my diet, he said, no way. He said, there is nobody certified to do a diet for you because your stomach is like a 4-leaf clover.
Yeah.
It is very delicate and unique. And I was like, come on, dude. Like, there's no one else I can go to. There's no one else I trust. So I finally did this elimination diet. A year later, I went back to him and I said, here, these are the ingredients that don't make me sick. Here's the meats, obviously not fish. I do some salmon, by the way. But anyways, salmon's okay. If you ever have questions about mercury poisoning, let me know. We got it pretty down now. But here's the proteins I'm willing to eat. Here's the carbs, and here's the fats that don't bug me. Because I can't even do peanut butter.
Wow.
Because of my colitis, I can't do nuts. I can't even do raw vegetables. I have to cook everything.
Anything with the thyroid, it seems like it's becoming, it's becoming a big topic for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's actually being treated properly yet, especially in mainstream. Someone like us, we, in other clinics like ours, we're not the only one, but spend a little more time trying to figure out what exactly is wrong.
Yes.
There's lots of tests. Everybody, you go to the doctor, what do they do? TSH. That's it.
Yeah.
They base everything on that. And that is absolutely the wrong way to do it.
You know what's actually interesting about that? So the way I found out about having Hashimoto's is I was moody. And it was during my back injury. So of course I'm moody. I'm depressed. I mean, I'm an athlete and I can't do athletic stuff. Of course I'm depressed, right? But I wasn't menstruating, and I had more than enough body fat to menstruate, so I should have been, and I wasn't. So I finally went to my gyno, and I said, okay, listen, here's the deal. Well, she says, well, I'm going to test you for estrogen. My estrogen was like non-existent. Right?
Really? Wow.
Okay. Well, so she says, I'm going to put you on estrogen. I said, no, you're not, because breast cancer and cancer in general runs in my family. I'm not going on estrogen.
No.
I'm not doing it. And so this was the first time I ever went to, what is this industry called? Like the HRT?
Yeah.
Yeah, HRT industry. First time I ever got tested for test. my test was non-existent, so therefore my estrogen was non-existent.
Yep.
So then I had to actually go on test boosters to bump up my estrogen level. But had I gone on estrogen, that would have never fixed the issue. It would have just given me or more estrogen, but no testosterone.
Right.
They have to be balanced,
Exactly.
which is why guys get gyno because they don't do the right things and all that stuff, right? But I mean, if I would have listened to my gyno, I'd probably have cancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's just
enough.
you move a little thing over here and it does all of these things over there. That a lot of people are having more thyroid issues, right? Because thyroid is one of the smallest glands and organs in your entire body.
Yeah.
So when autoimmune starts attacking, it's probably going to attack that one first, which is why Hashimoto is more prevalent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are out there. But how I started was actually because I've been sick since 2008, right? So I started with an IgG panel. Or an IgGF or IGF panel. Anyway, so basically it does your inflammatory response to foods. Oh man, I lit that thing up like a Christmas tree too. Like all of the stuff that I was eating on a regular basis came back positive as don't eat.
Right.
Well, I think that's because of now, fast forward 10 years, I learned because of molecular cross-contamination, that's why those came up.
Right.
But I did eliminate them from my diet and I felt better.
Right.
So I guess it really depends. I would absolutely do a gut test through you.
We should do that.
We should. That would be another great episode.
Yeah.
I've never,
Let's do it.
Well,
I need to do me.
The thing is I have never done any of those testings. I've
really?
never done an elimination diet.
Oh, we should do
I
it.
mean, it would be something that I would be, for me,
Yeah.
I definitely would be really interested to find out that information.
And we're learning a lot about things, food allergies versus food sensitivities. A lot of people don't know. They go, well, I know I'm allergic to peanuts, or I know I'm allergic. Well, that's fine. Most people do know what they're actually allergic to.
Oh yeah, because you blow up and you need the EpiPen.
Exactly. But food sensitivity is a totally different subject.
Yep.
That's exactly
You may not know. That's what's causing those gut issues. That's what's causing that inflammation is food sensitivity, not necessarily allergy.
Straight out of the gate, the most common inflammatory response is gluten, dairy, and sugar. So those are the ones that will literally, I call them blowfish days when I'm having a bad day. I call it blowfish because that's how I feel.
Right.
Right. So I never eat those ever.
Right.
At all. But then there's a bunch of others like alcohol and some other stuff too, which
Yep.
balance your life with how it makes you feel, right?
Yeah.
But I would absolutely do
And
that.
how
That'd be a
the
fun...
people that are talking about like foggy brain.
Oh yes, brain
A
fog.
lot of that is food related and food sensitivity. This lab has a neuro panel which can check what actually is causing some of that brain fog.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
There's a lot of things to kind of reset that too. But you need that information to know. Like, you need to know where you're at and where you're trying to go, and blood work is where you're at, right? Or these tests is where you're at.
Yeah.
And then from there, you come up with a game plan and work through it, right? And that's the best way to do it. But elimination diet, I think Whole 30, that book is just phenomenal to work with. And it gives you, like, 5 different options for elimination diet. Like I went immediately on AIP because I know autoimmune runs in my family.
So AIP, tell me.
It's autoimmune protocol diet.
Okay.
So and it eliminated, like I said, gluten, dairy, sugar, nightshades. That's one a lot of people don't know about, but that causes a lot of inflammation. So. I literally was on less than 10 ingredients during all of this, trying to figure things out.
Well, it sure does make grocery shopping easy.
You know what? I will tell you that, like,
that aisle.
Oh my God.
Autoimmune
Let's look at the
protocol
positive.
aisle.
Let's look at the positive.
It's
on
true
that.
though. It is so true because, like, I don't know what I would do. Like, I would waste a lot of food if I was allowed to eat anything.
Right.
Like, I would just buy it all and then, like, it just
Have
go
a
stale or bad or
yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it makes my diet really easy. And then a lot of people, they always have that rebound diet problem. Well, if you live in a healthy lifestyle, you don't have a rebound diet problem because it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. Like all these people do like super crash diets to be ready in 12 weeks.
Yeah,
don't. Like that is the most unhealthy thing in the world.
Yeah.
Just be a healthy person, and then you can trim down for a show. That's a lot easier than this whole diet rebound, because then also like, okay, during your bulk phase, you get all this muscle, all this whatever, but then you have to cut so quick that you lost all that muscle that you worked so hard to gain. Like So
it's funny. It's fascinating to see the different perspectives for competitors, not the average person necessarily, but for competitors that you have the amateur competitors, and their first show, like you said, you didn't have a trainer.
Oh, dude, I was so clueless.
My son and I, David and I, when we did our first show, we didn't have a trainer. We just kind of looked it up online.
Well, we did it before Instagram, before YouTube,
exactly.
Before all of the public,
I was before all of that.
I know, right?
Yeah,
we're talking,
like we had to meet in person. You know what I'm saying? Like those were the days. Like there were no dating apps. Like we had to actually talk in public. You know.
I mean, I didn't have a personal trainer in the gym. I never had somebody design my training programs. I did all that myself.
Yeah.
Did my own meal plans. I did my own, and it was all through, we had mentioned this before, it was kind of that pay it forward.
Yeah.
The people who competed before you kind of taught you what to do, but you didn't pay
Each
them
one
for
teach
it.
one.
It was
exactly
like that you just pay it forward. But, it wasn't until the last year that I competed. So from '96, I met Todd Sweeney, who was Kevin Levroni's dietitian, and he's the one that changed the way I eat. He was like, "You're not getting in enough calories," and so I ended up looking like I was 10 pounds heavier on stage.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that from '96 to '97 that I went on gear in order to compete. All I did was eat more food. I ate twice as much food as what I was eating the year before.
That's another critical thing.
I looked so much fuller, and I had a healthier look as opposed to looking like I was that skinny, ripped. I was always lean.
You are always been shredded.
I was just, that skinny kind of.
But it became a lifestyle for you.
It became a lifestyle
because you had to kind of do it on your own and figure it out. So you played same with you. You kind of made it more of a lifestyle. Well, you had to because of all the.
And I think the big thing for me the big thing for me is after I did my first Miss Fitness National, Miss Fitness USA in '91, that I gained like 25 pounds really quick.
Wow.
And then I got a call to promote the Miss Fitness USA pageant, if you will, at this big television program. They called it the NATP convention. It was in New Orleans, and it's where all the stars and the television shows go to syndicate their show around the world.
Oh, okay.
And so all the cast of Friends were there, the cast of Seinfeld. It was the coolest thing ever.
Cool.
But I was asked to go, and I had like 2 weeks. I was like, oh my God, I'm so fat. I was so embarrassed, and I thought, how am I going to look good after I competed, and all of a sudden I'm huge, that I vowed to myself that I would never gain that much weight after a show.
Yeah.
So that was like that lesson learned, that from that point on, after I was done competing, I only gained 8 to 12 pounds after a show, and that was it. And I got into a very manageable level, but I never shut my thyroid down. I never had problems with my adrenals because I was not on that huge roller coaster.
And that's what I think, there are good trainers. We talked about this last week. There are good trainers, and then there are trainers that placed in the top 5 or did a show and decided, okay, I'm a trainer.
No, even worse than that, they did one show. You did one show. Like, you can't you're going to offer me services?
Well,
please.
I think also the thing that scares me are the people who did the huge transformation where they lose the 100 pounds, they lose the 150 pounds, and they did it, and then they feel so passionate about them losing weight that now they want to teach other people how to do it. But I think just because you did that transformation doesn't necessarily make you an expert.
Talk about it, right? It's like her. It's like her saying, because she went through everything she went through, she can now diagnose everybody on if you have this or that.
I would never.
Yeah,
I'd be like, go to him, go to
like.
I have a team that's specialized in it. I would never take that on myself because that's somebody's life, and that's what people don't understand.
The important thing is that you can give them guidelines because you learn guidelines, but you're not going to take control and say, "Oh, you need to do this and this and this because that's what worked for me."
Right.
It's that you got to be smart.
And that's why I respect Alex so much, because when I went to him and I asked him to do my diet, he was like, "No." And I was like, "Alex, come on, Eileen, He's like, "No, I think there's nobody that can do your diet and with the right conscience and say that they are okay with doing your diet, because you would need a dietitian that specializes in autoimmune, and that, good luck, right?" And so I respected him for that. I did my own elimination diet, and then I begged him again, like, can you please do my diet? And so now he's doing that, so I'm grateful for that.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, it is scary out there because this is people's lives that, you know, people are saying, oh yeah, I can take over your life, and it's like.
And everybody's different, right? And trainers that do the cookie cutter diet, okay, well, you're this height, you're this weight, this is what I've always done, this is what we're going to do for you.
Ooh, that's a good story too. I went on a cookie cutter diet for I think it was my second show. And I tried, you know, like I tried. This was through Craigslist, by the way. Anyways, this is showing how old I am. I had a pager, by the way. But it was, you know, maybe a flip phone, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, it was a cookie cutter diet, but it was built for probably a 5'4" bikini. Well, they weren't bikini then, right? But it was figure. I'm a fitness athlete, and I'm 5'7", right? Like what I do versus what they do, and I was still doing recreation sports at the same time too, right? Like my macros should be my macros, not somebody else's macros.
And understanding that, you know, if you go to a trainer and let's say you pick the right trainer, it doesn't mean that the first diet they give you is going to be on point. Sometimes it takes time.
That's the other thing too.
It takes time to figure out.
How long have we been working together? How long have we been working together, right? Like once I find somebody I trust, that person's on my team for life, you know what I mean? Unless they do me wrong, and then you're definitely booted off. And then,
the island.
Yeah, right. You're off the island. But the Eileen team, like it's grown over time, and granted, I've kind of evolved over time and needed other resources to be brought in, like break dancing and, you know, other sports.
Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, Ninja Warrior. Like, but actually, the guy that owns that Ninja Warrior gym, I've known him for 10 years. He was my gymnastics coach.
Wow.
So it's just one of those things. Like once you have somebody that's invested their time and their passion in you. Like, there's nobody else that could possibly replace that person. Yeah. Like, maybe that role could be replaced, but that person could never be replaced. Like, everybody's replaceable.
And that's why it's funny to see some competitors that just jump trainer to trainer to trainer every year. And it's like, you start from scratch.
Each time you.
I mean, I get it. If it's not a personality
if it's not a good fit, that makes sense, right?
But if you find somebody who's helped you, you felt good with them, they did pretty good, it's only going to get better.
That's the thing. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't place well. It must be my coach's fault. No, it's not. It all depends on who showed up that day, for one, first and foremost, right? Because, like, you know, over time, all of these different divisions have grown and evolved. Right? Like, you look at the fitness division right now, you better be more cut than like a physique girl.
Yeah.
And be able to do like crazy
routines,
what
I don't understand
right?
with you guys.
So, but you know, like for me, I'll never be able to build that body, and I'm okay with that. I've accepted that, but I'm not going to go around and change my team because of that. As long as I continue to evolve and improve, my team stays the same. You know? So,
and you get better, you learn. Everybody knows now, they work together. I never really understood that jumping.
I don't
it happens
understand that
a lot.
Okay. Yep. If you guys have any questions, please follow. What's your Instagram?
Ninja-neer.
Ninja-neer.
Like ninja, like, and then I'm engineer, so ninja-neer. Princess. And I'm a princess.
Ninja-neer princess. Follow her.
I think I'm a princess.
Look her up. If you have questions, send her a message. She's a huge advocate and huge educator as far as what's going on with her. So if you have questions, please reach out. She'd love to help. That's just the type of person she is. If you have other questions about the same thing or anything else, if you need to get some labs done, if you want some more information on our gut health and what we're doing there, please reach out to us, give us a call, and we'd love to just even talk to you. Just to try to answer questions, make sure you're going in the right directions. All right?
We're going to go get lab work done.
Until next time, we're doing some lab work right now.